The possibility of a third world war is a complex and sensitive issue. Many factors would contribute to such a conflict, and it is impossible to say with certainty whether or not it will happen. However, there are some things that we can do to reduce the risk of a third world war. One important step is to work to resolve existing conflicts peacefully. This means finding ways to address the root causes of conflict, such as poverty, inequality, and injustice. It also means building trust and cooperation between countries, so that they are more likely to resolve their differences peacefully. Another important step is to strengthen international institutions, such as the United Nations. These institutions can play a vital role in preventing conflict and resolving disputes peacefully. They can also help to build trust and cooperation between countries. The way superpowers would make allies if a third world war happens would depend on a number of factors, including the nature of the conflict, the goals of the superpowers, and the strategic interests of other countries. However, some general factors that would likely influence the formation of alliances include shared interests. Superpowers are more likely to ally with countries that share their interests, such as a desire to maintain the status quo, to promote democracy, or to contain the power of a rival superpower. Geographic proximity. Superpowers are more likely to ally with countries that are geographically close, as this makes it easier to coordinate military operations and to provide logistical support. Economic ties. Superpowers are more likely to ally with countries with which they have strong economic ties, as this can provide mutual benefits and reduce the risk of conflict. Shared values. Superpowers are more likely to ally with countries that share their values, such as a commitment to human rights or a belief in the rule of law. In addition to these factors, the formation of alliances would also be influenced by the personal relationships between leaders, the history of cooperation between countries, and the perceived threat posed by other countries. Here are some examples of how superpowers might make allies in a third world war. The United States and its allies might ally with countries in Europe or Asia that share their commitment to democracy and human rights. China and Russia might ally with countries in the Middle East or Africa that are opposed to Western intervention. India and Pakistan might ally with each other in order to deter a Chinese invasion. The formation of alliances in a third world war would be a complex and dynamic process. The exact nature of these alliances would depend on a variety of factors, but the factors listed above would likely play a significant role. Finally, it is important to educate people about the dangers of war. We need to teach people about the history of war and its devastating consequences. We also need to teach people about the importance of peace and non-violence. If we take these steps, we can reduce the risk of a third world war. However, it is important